Was it going?
Yeah.
No, not yet. Oh, it is. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. It's Julia.
It's Emma.
And today we're going to be talking about two novels, 13 Reasons Why by J. Asher.
And The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie.
They're both published in 2007 and are young adult fiction genre. So we're going to start with 13 Reasons Why first, but fun fact, on the 13 Reasons Why cover, there's actually a quote from Sherman Alexie, who wrote...
What did he say?
He said, "A mystery, eulogy, and ceremony."
Yeah, I definitely think the mystery aspect of it is kind of the main thing that kept me going throughout this book.
Yeah.
You want to tell them what it was about?
Sure. So, basically,
No
it's
spoilers.
Hannah Baker. She commits suicide and leaves behind 13 tapes for the 13 people who represent the reasons why she committed suicide. The novel is following through the narrator of Clay Jensen, who's one of the reasons why, but he was like the more like romantic interest.
I think that was a big part of the mystery, is like why he was on
Yeah.
the tapes, because you wouldn't think that he was one of the reasons
Yeah.
why she committed suicide. It's important to note that each of these reasons alone, like none of them would be enough of a reason for her to commit suicide, but the point of the book is put all together was kind of like a snowball effect, and that caused her to eventually take her own life.
The whole thing is like the clues and reasons why she killed herself and what each specific person did to lead her to like that sad ending.
What, just initially, like, what were your thoughts on
Well, I actually read it.
the whole idea of the book?
The first time I read it, I was in middle school, and it was like my favorite book. Like, I loved it. And then after reading it again more recently, I was like, okay, I don't actually know how I feel about Hannah.
Yeah.
Because at first I was like, oh my god, this book is so good. Like, what you're saying is so valid. But after, like, getting a little bit older, I feel like Hannah is kind of problematic a little bit more now.
I think that was my biggest issue with the novel as well. And I, like, understand why Asher does some of the things he does, but it was also hard for me to, like, get through it just because I feel like a lot of it could be unrealistic. I don't know, especially, and it's just some of the character dynamics, like who Clay Jensen's friends with, and like how Hannah ends up putting him on the tapes. It was just, I don't know, a lot of unrealistic factors, and altogether I was like, I understand it's fiction, but I think that he could have gotten his point across in like a different way.
I agree.
So I think some of the overall themes that were covered in the novel are definitely important, and I think I'd appreciate teachers using this novel in the classroom just to cover some of these topics, because I think most of them are super relevant in middle school and high school environments, just like betrayal, reputation, mental health, all actions having consequences, definitely relevant to every middle schooler and high schooler's life. Asher, you did a good job touching on
with
those.
The themes.
Yeah. Like, going back to mental health, I don't think the target audience for this book would be those actually like dealing with a mental illness. I think it'd be more directed to outsiders, bystanders, bullies, that kind of
people.
thing.
I think that it'd be kind of triggering for someone who actually would have a mental illness, because or I don't know.
No, I feel
like
I've like read up stuff about this, and a lot of people who were dealing with depression, suicide, that kind of thing, like were triggered by this book and like wouldn't recommend it to others going through similar things.
Did they think it was like an accurate depiction of?
No, I mean, I think that was the main thing. Like, and I think if she put as much energy, this might be like a controversial hot take. But I think if she put as much energy as she did into making these tapes and sending them out, as she did trying to get help and reach out and like taking responsibility.
Yeah,
you know
like,
what I'm saying?
Even like specifically with like
harsh.
Clay Jensen, like all the feelings she had about Clay, like she never told him, or
and Clay like really cared about her.
Clay really cared.
Like, he was there.
Like, not talking about that specific time where she literally pushed him away, but throughout the novel, like it just felt like she like wasn't appreciating Clay and his friendship as much as she could have been, which was like her only ally basically.
Yeah. But, like, I get it. Like, people are all going through things. Like, you never know. You have to be cautious of that and treat everyone with kindness.
That's one of the things I really liked about the book, is that, like, it was a good representation of you don't know what's going on.
And it was
in
like a
people's
short amount of
lives.
time.
Because there were tapes, in my opinion, that were like, okay, this isn't that big of a deal, like I wouldn't have really cared. But then there were tapes that definitely weighed heavier on, like, that were like really messed up. And so
When you put it all together,
it's like, wow.
Yeah.
It's crappy.
Overall, stars, what do you think?
Like I said, when I first read it, it was like my favorite book for a really long time, which I would have given it 5 stars then. I'm giving it 4 now, which is still pretty good.
Yeah.
I still really love this book.
You would recommend to a friend?
Definitely. I love this novel, but it's just because of Hannah's problematic ideas. 4 stars out of 5 is not bad, though. That's a good recommendation.
Personally would give like a 2, 3. Yeah, I like wasn't a fan of the novel. I wasn't a big fan of Clay Jensen either. So I think Hannah plus Clay as the main characters, that was a big issue for me. But I definitely wanted to get through it. Like, I wasn't gonna put it down at any point and not finish it.
And also for me, I just really wanted to get to like Clay's tape.
Yeah, that was the big thing. Like, if Clay's tape was first, I might have been less interested.
Yeah, I've been like,
because he was one of the main characters. Yeah. But yeah. Okay. Overall, if you're curious, give it a chance. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Okay, so now we're going to talk about Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian. And I'm a little bit more excited to talk about this one, just to be honest, because I really liked this. I really liked the main character, Junior. Just a little synopsis. Junior is like a high school student on the Spoken Indian reservation, and he goes to school with mostly other Spoken Indians, and his whole reservation is consumed by poverty, alcoholism, depression, violence. His dad's an alcoholic. He basically has nothing going for him. Like, the world is pretty much
sad. That's actually one of the things I didn't like about this book, but we'll get there once I get my star review.
And he's also born with several birth defects. Like, he has brain damage, he has a lisp. So that on top of everything, he's just like a huge target for bullies. And people just don't seem very nice on this Indian reservation, and it is honestly very depressing to read. Like, it was very like saddening, and I think the only thing that makes it like a little bit more lighthearted is Junior's humor, and he's like pretty sarcastic, and I think that's like a coping mechanism.
Yeah, and like the drawings too.
Let's show one. Yeah. This one is talking about why he is drawing, and
meta.
He talks about how his cartoons are something that everyone can understand because he obviously is in a minority. He just has a hard time, I think, like connecting with other people and like having other people understand him. Yeah. So that was really hard to like get through. Actually, he talks to this one teacher, Mr. P, and Mr. P is kind of like the catalyst so much for him to get out of this high school, because Mr. P basically like is, if you don't get out of this high school, like you're never gonna get off this reservation. And Junior basically realizes that like that's what he has to do to make it, and he is very determined despite everything, which is why I really like this book more than 13 Reasons Why, because everyone has their own struggles and it's how you react to them. That's what life is. Mr. P was kind of that teacher that maybe like Hannah needed.
That's a good point.
Yeah, no, so
everyone needs a Mr. P.
Yeah, so once he finally gets out to the other school, things start looking better, and
the basketball team.
Yeah, so I really liked how, despite everything, like he didn't give up. He still had hope.
It's really like a story about like hope and finding what inspires you and just keep moving forward even through all the hardships.
And it was nice like reading a book from the perspective of someone in a minority that you usually don't read about. Like, I don't know if I've ever read a book from the perspective of an Indian before this.
I don't know if we mentioned it, but it is like kind of autobiographical of Sherman Alexi's life.
Which a lot of it's probably true.
Yeah. So are we doing star reviews now?
Yeah.
Okay, well, 3. I really enjoyed reading it, but it is just like really sad.
It is really sad.
I mean, that's the whole thing, is like trying to find hope when it's like seems hopeless. But what's your
I would say like a 4 out of 5. The only reason I wouldn't get out of a 5 out of 5, because I really did like it, is that I think the humor kind of like, it like helps you not feel as like sad and helps you get through the novel, I think. But it also like took away, I think, from my emotions as a reader, because I think I would have felt some of the things like more deeply, but then like his sarcasm kind of like contradicted that, and it was just kind of like weird and uncomfortable sometimes, because I'm like, alright, this definitely isn't like a lighthearted situation at all. That's the conclusion of our BookTube episode today.
Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Bye guys. Where's the cursor? Why can't I find the cursor?